and I want to welcome you to my channel. If you have been here before, come on in and learn to paint with me, Allison Pryor. So I just decided to come on last minute. I didn't really let anybody know about it. I'm kind of like just jumping in when I feel like it at times, because most of my videos are done Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So today I thought, I'm going to jump in on a little live stream and have a bit of fun. And I'll answer any questions that you have about art. And I'm going to do this beautiful painting that I did before. I did this before. And we're going to do one like it today. I should say this evening because it's 7, almost quarter to 8 at night. So I left it a little late. I'm going to try, if I do some more live streams, I'll try to do them around 7 or so, like after supper, 6:30 or 7 o'clock, now that winter is coming here in Newfoundland. So there won't be much to do after 6 o'clock anyway, because I don't like to go out into the snow. So, hi. Hi, Sabrina. Nice to see you. So yeah, I want to do a waterfalls because it seems like everybody love waterfalls. It won't be exactly like this, but we'll use this as a reference, we'll call it, okay, sort of, because it's really hard to paint the exact type, the exact same painting twice, exactly the same. Besides, I wouldn't mind doing some little different things with it anyway, So if we can get that sky as pretty as that now and the nice waterfalls, and I'll show you some easy techniques and tricks that we can use to paint that. And because I know a lot of people that follow me are a lot of beginners and intermediate. A lot of advanced artists are now teaching on YouTube. So I like to help beginners because I know what it's like when I first started, and I never had nobody teach me. So and it was really difficult trying to learn yourself. But I did go to some art classes, and but I did learn mostly on my own. So this is 16 by 20 canvas. Now, this canvas is wraparound, as you can see. It's a stretch canvas, okay? A lot of people ask me, they say, when you get a canvas, am I supposed to gesso it? Well, when I buy these canvases, this one here I bought at the dollar store actually, $4. I mean, you can't go wrong. And it's not like, if you're selling paintings, then you can use the best of materials because because it's expensive to do a painting, you get your money, you tack on how much it costs you to buy for your canvas. But I find these canvases good, and they're already gessoed, okay? They're already gessoed, and they're already stapled onto the back here. So, and that's a nice big one, 16 by 20. So I'm hoping now that you'll be able to, I'll make sure you can see it. And I have different ones, as you can see, like different sizes. 12 by 12 is $2.50. I mean, you go to some of these other stores, craft stores, and it costs a lot of money to buy these. And because I do so many paintings, I got to keep my expenses down. But my Patreon page, my patrons support me in a way so I can buy materials, which is, thank you so much. And so that all helps, So I'm going to use a limited palette because you can use tons of colors. You can use all kinds of yellows and reds and greens and blues. And, you can have a big pile of paints all over the place, but it's very confusing, But you're better off having 1 or 2 or 3 of each. But for this video, I'm just going to use my three primary colors. And I always like to put burnt sienna on here and black and white. And that way you got, because I can mix my own greens, but you can use like sap green. You can use phthalo green, whatever your favorite colors are. And if you're not sure what your favorite colors are, what to use, then you don't have to go out and buy a big pile of greens, a big pile of different colors. Just buy a couple of different colors, like get the ones that are most popular, as you can see on the videos and in books. They use, like sap green, right? hooker's green. So just get the popular ones. So ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, uh, crimson red, burnt sienna, burnt umber, and lemon yellow, pale yellow, yellow ochre, right? Black and white, titanium white. So, get things that are, that you see that's used the most in the videos. Keep an eye out for what other artists are using, because everybody uses basically the same. And then they add other things like magenta and all these different other colors. But you can also have a look at the types of canvases they use. Keep an eye out for what, like I say, you might get to a channel and they're painting, but you don't really see all the things and the brushes that they use. You want to see basically the brushes are always, basically the same. Some artists pay a lot more for their brushes. I just buy my brushes. I find them really good. I buy them at Walmart's or craft stores or dollar store, whatever, So I find my brushes are, I just keep a few that I think I'm going to use the most. I always use a fan brush for my waterfalls. You don't have to use a fan brush for your waterfalls. You can use a regular bristle brush or any kind of brush, synthetic brush. These softer ones here are synthetic. Like that. As you can see, I have bristle and synthetic. And I have my fluffy brush in case I want to do some softening up and blending. I love this brush. See you can get all these flowers with this brush. See the top? It's called a chip brush, okay? It's a chip brush. And it's bristle. And I have this bristle here. I have small flat brushes. I have liner brushes. So I keep them all into one because I know I'm going to be using all these today, right? I even have a palette knife in case I decide to use it. So it's always good to have, and you can have a sponge, a few extra things on hand. Just have them on your table or somewhere so you can grab it if you feel it. Because, doing a painting, you're not limited to certain brushes and certain paints, right? You might want to add things after. So always have some little extras on the side. And if you're, so new to painting that you have no idea what brushes or anything to get, you just have to get synthetic and bristle, and 3 of maybe one, say you get and a Filbert brush is great too. Really like these round. But you get 3 different sizes of each brush, of each fan brush, liner brush, bristle brush, and synthetic. And then you're on your way, and you might say, what brands are the best? Well, gosh, Dollar and Roundy has some really nice things. Like I said, you can even Google what's the best brands to buy, what's the best brushes to buy for painting, Google it, do research. Don't depend just on videos. If you're serious about painting, you're going to have to do some research. It takes time. And but it's worth it. If you really love painting, every little process is well worth it. It's so much fun, and you're always learning. You could be at it for 20 years, you're still learning, okay? So let's do something with this painting. So I don't know if you have any questions, but if you do, I'm here, right here. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure that you can see this, because I could end up, like I do in some of my videos, I could end up painting and here the camera is not even on it. It's not easy. It thinks it is, but I'm here by myself, trying to do this myself. And if I make any mistakes, I got no one to say, okay, well, you forgot to turn this on, or you forgot to do that. So here we go. So here we had our sky and our hills and some trees all into one top, right? So now we have to find a horizon line of where we want. This painting is actually divided in 3s. Look at that. See, that's one horizon line there, and that's another horizon line there, right? Well, it's horizon or where the water ends. You're going to want to know where the water ends. So let's start with so we'll break it up into 3rds. How's that? break it up into thirds. So all we have to do is you can get masking tape, painter's tape, and put tape on, or you can just draw a line across, because it's not going to be perfectly straight anyway, but just draw a line across. That's about 1/3. So third, right? So we'll just go with that. A little more in some place. I kind of want the waterfalls to be nice and big anyway. I might change it up a little bit. I'm thinking that might be a little bit too much. Let's see, waterfalls could be. So, you know, you might say, okay, well, I don't know. Because I want to make sure I get enough room for hills, sky, and trees. So I might come down a little bit more. So see how you can change things up. You might change your mind. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? So now I'm going to come down a little bit more. So I'm going to come down a little, probably here. Here. And then the waterfalls can be here. And then, yeah, that should be good. That should be good. Because we got trees and stuff going on here. So let's try. So just use a... usually when I do my sky, because I'm blending, I usually use a softer brush, which is synthetic, okay? And that's a synthetic brush. And it's nice for blending. So I'm going to put together a nice sky. Now I might, that weight is kind of, see how it's moving? So I'm going to take my blue, and I'm going to add tiniest bit of red, and I'm going to add, because I might change it up a little bit, and I'm going to add my white, lots of white. See? Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to put that up here. So as you know, the sky is darker at top, and as it comes down, it gets lighter and lighter, right? So we'll go with the darker one up on top, and see how it's got a nice little bit of red added to it. So that red will warm up your sky a little bit, right? Because we're talking about warm and cool colors. So warm colors, cool colors are the blues and the greens. And what you can do to warm it up is add a little bit of red, see? And then you can add white. And that will give it a nice, okay. Now, I'll get it over here. Did you see what I just did that time? See, we're live, so I can't even fix it. I added burnt sienna, black, actually black got in there. And then on my white, here we go. So there we go. Now we are going to get that nice and, I want to get it nice and dark up on top. And because this is a wraparound, you can paint the sides, all right? Paint the sides as you're going along, and that way the colors then will, you know, you won't have to worry about going back and remixing the colors. So let's get that up here. I'm not going to worry about it too much right now, because I will add some here. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, okay, we'll just keep going. I was going to leave some openings for the clouds like I do sometimes, but I don't think I'll bother with that now. I'm just going to put on the blue sky up on top. And if you're paint, look, see how the paint won't come off? See that? So if you see that you're having a hard time, and if you want to, you can put a ton of paint on your brush and keep doing that, and you're going to end up using a full tube of paint. Hello. Hello. So what I do is I use magic mist. Now you've probably seen my videos. You've heard me using magic mist and magic paint and magic white. And I'm not going to use magic white on this because I don't want it to stay wet too long. I want to keep working because I'm doing it live. So I don't want to, you know, have to use the hair dryer. It's too loud. And so this is my magic mist. All I did was you can use a liquid slow dry blending media and add water. So what I did was I got my misting bottle and I added about half and half. So half water and half half your slow dry blending medium. And then you get a nice misting bottle, and then you can mist. And that will save you paint. Just watch. Now, see how that's, look. Now, see how that's moving now? See? Don't even have to add more paint, right? Perfect. Now, and you keep doing that, because I want it to go lighter as I go down, so I'm going to start adding some white soon. So I'm just going to keep blending all that together nicely. Look, I don't have to even worry about, see how it wouldn't come off before? And now it's all blended really nice together. Look at that. There we go. Sometimes I mist a little too much and ends up a bit watery. So all you got to do then is just add some white paint. So if your paint is transparent and is too transparent, add white to your paint and that will make it nice and opaque. So I'm trying to give you some nice tips here today too. I always, whenever I'm doing my videos, I try to come up with tips so I can help you out. Because I, based on some of the questions I get too, right? So what I do is I add, so some people say, well, my paint is awful transparent. You can see right through it, and it's watery. It's probably the brand might be a watery, you know, may not have that nice pigment to it. So you can add white. Add white to your paint. And it will lighten the paint up, even though you're adding white. But you will be able to make it nice and opaque then. So I'm adding more white. See how it's getting lighter as I come down? See that? Now I'm just going into only white this time. Only white, right? I'm just leaving that blue there because I don't want to use it. See? See how nice and bright it's getting down here? Look at that. Nice. More white. Now it's too white. Just, my brush is dirty, so that's good because now I'm getting some blue coming off, mixing in with that white, but yet it's still nice and bright at the bottom. But look, I never had to use too much paint after because I used my Magic Mist. Magic Mist for acrylics, okay? And it's so easy to make your own. I have links in my description where you can buy this on Amazon. And if you buy from my links in Amazon, I get a little bit of commissions, you know, 25 cents every now and then. So it all helps. It all helps. Yeah. I'm going to try and do the sides. There we go. So you got any questions, let me know. I'm just kind of hanging out with you guys today. Yeah. I got in the mood to try a live stream. I don't do enough of them. I want to do more. I want to do a lot of them. I'd rather do lives than just record the video, and you know, because it's just nice to know that you're there watching, and you might have some questions. Now, see how nice and smooth this? How pretty that is. Now I'm going to use my soft fluffy brush. That's that soft. Now you can use this, you can get a makeup brush if you want to too, right? Get a makeup brush, as long as it's soft and fluffy. Alright, so I'm just drying it off because I had it in water. I was cleaning it up earlier for my, so I was using it. So I just see it and it goes back to normal once you wash it. And then you can take that brush and you can soften this up as long as it's wet, okay? Because if it gets tacky, then you might have to mist it again because you don't want the paint coming off the canvas. You'll see the canvas will come through if it gets tacky. There we go. See? Now that's nice, isn't it? Nice and dark on top, nice and soft, and pretty on the bottom. Perfect. Now we get that much done. See? How long did that take? A couple minutes? It probably would have been faster if I hadn't been talking. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a bristle brush. Now you might say, why are you getting a bristle brush? Well, I find that when I do clouds with a bristle brush, I can get that nice soft look to my clouds. And you can use any brush you want. You can use the corner of your fan brush. You can use any brush to get a nice soft cloud, okay? If you're putting on clouds, your sky is blue, and the complementary color of blue is orange. So what you can do is you can add a little tiny bit of yellow or red to your cloud, or orange, because orange is made up with red and yellow, right? So and blue and violet is yellow is complementary. So you can add a little bit of yellow or red, or yellow and red, make an orange. So I'm gonna add, I didn't add much. You can see my cloud is not very, it's just white color, but I'm gonna add a little teeny weeny bit of yellow. I'm gonna lay it up here because I don't want it, in case I do too much. A little bit of red, not much, right? And then I'm gonna make my cloud so you can barely see it, see? Tap it off a little bit, and then see if I can make some nice soft clouds. Now you can make a straight line first. Now that's still wet, so it might interfere a little bit. Sometimes it helps that it's dry, the background, the sky, but you can see I made a line first, and then I'm making some circles. You can tap it on, or you can make circles. See, the circles will give you a softer look, right? See? And then we'll highlight those after. But right now, all we want to do is get a shape. Now, whenever you're doing clouds, and you get your shape, and come out to a little peak on the end there, it gives a little more of a realistic look. So you get some more paint, and that gives that nice bottom there. And then you put another one on there, a nice line. And at the top of the painting, your clouds are bigger and thicker, and once you get down smaller, they get smaller, more far away looking. So you just make a little circle, circle, circle. Keep your straight bottom. Circle, and you get another cloud, and I'm just going to bring it out on the edge here. Just kind of spread it out so it's floating around in the sky. And we'll come back and highlight that after. I just want to get the shapes first. And we'll do another one. So put in as many as you want. They're up on top. They're nice and big, big fluffy clouds. There we go. See? Takes a couple of seconds. What brand of brushes do I recommend? Well, like I say, Dollar and Rowney are really, really good. Oh, hi, Becky. Hi, Delia, D-E-L-I-A. So, yeah, so let's see what this one is. This is a Color Factory one. This is called Color Factory. But Dollar and Rowney are good, and Liquid-X. And like I said before, go on Google and say what is the best acrylic painting brushes to use, and you'll get a list of them, okay? Oh, hi, Becky. Glad you made the live stream also. I'm glad you're here. And Lisa's here. Hi. It's great. Great to see you guys. I hope you learn, you know, I hope you enjoy painting as much as I do, because it takes time to get all the techniques. I mean, it took me a long time to figure out how to do clouds. But, you know, you keep going, and if you enjoy doing it, you'll want to learn, okay? And my favorite brands of paints are also Liquid-X and Dollar and Rowney, okay? As you can see, this is what I'm using, Dollar and Rowney. And these big tubes, look, and they last forever. I mean, you can't, right? And then I got Liquid-X, right? These are my favorites. These are the ones I buy because they're not too expensive, and yet you can use them and they go far. Thank you, Lisa. I'm so happy that you love my paintings. I'm so happy. It's good to hear that, because it encourages me also to keep painting and to keep doing these videos. So I really appreciate it. yeah, so let's see if we can make some smaller clouds at the bottom. But we're going to put a couple of hills in here, so we won't go too far down. We'll just put in some, all I'm doing is just make, now it's hard for you to see it because see the paint is wet. Now when that dries, we'll go back over it and we'll put some highlights on our clouds, okay? At least we got them started there now, right? See how I got that nice little top there? What I did was I just put paint on my brush and I just touched, and when I touched and the paint came off, I just moved away and move away so that you can keep that white. But this paint, the blue background is still pretty wet, so I'm just going to let that simmer, and then when it dries off, then we'll add some highlights to the rest of the clouds. So you can have as many clouds as you want. I like making a straight line first. I find that really good. I want to show you also the synthetic brush. So this is the softer brush. Let's see if we can make a cloud with that. Just going to put my paint on there. See? And then make my straight line. And then just make a little circle. Same thing. See? And you get some nice soft clouds. And I like to get a little bit of a bump up on top there and then bring it out to the edges so they look like they're floating. They're spreading out through the sky. Now you know yourself when you look in the clouds in the sky that they're all different shapes and sizes, and they could be upside down and inside out, and they could look like dogs and cats and all kinds of stuff, right? So, but for the sake of this video, I'm not going to make a dog cloud or dinosaur cloud. Oh boy, I mean silly. So I'm going to take my fan brush. So what I want to do next, so you have to decide when you're doing a painting, I like to do it in steps. Like I like to do it in parts. As you can see, you'll see my videos where I like to do it in parts. I like to do the sky first and some trees, you know. I might work on the sky first and put in everything that goes up here above the horizon line, and then I might do another part. Or sometimes I will do just the sky and then do the trees later, you know. Your painting's not in focus. Let me know when that's better. Is it better there now? It's in focus there now. Is it a bit better there now? It could be the lighting. It could be that the painting itself doesn't look. I mean, just look at this painting here. Does that look in focus? Over there? Does that one look in focus? Like I said, that one there. Right? So I'm thinking it might be because it's not really, it's just all blurred together. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll get more light. Let's see. Let's see if we get more light. This might help. I don't want to put too much light on it because then you end up getting a shine. Can you see it a bit better there now, do you think? I hope so. I hope so. Let's try the trees. Maybe they'll see them better. I'm going to make a nice dark green. I think it's just the tilt of the canvas. Okay. Let's see. Let's try to get it up a bit there. Maybe I can make it stand up straighter. That might help. I want you to be able to see it. Hello. Hello. It's a bit straighter there now. Let's see. That's the worst thing about doing lives, right? You can't, something goes wrong, you're stuck with it, right? And I don't want to come back later. Check your settings. If it defaults to a lower video quality after a few minutes, you need to change it to 720. Yeah, okay, I'll check that later. If I do it now, I'll lose you. Well, hopefully it's not too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some really dark green trees. And I'm going to add yellow and blue. So you can use cad yellow and ultramarine blue. Make a really, really nice dark green. So I'm just making a blue and some yellow. And like I say, you can use your own green, sap green. I mean, that's kind of a sap green, right? But I want it even darker than that. I want it almost black. So I'm going to add some red. That will really darken it up. See that? See how that red darkened it up? That's a nice color. And I'm using a fan brush for the trees, okay? Oh, is it all set? Good, good. Good. Maybe it's because I'm standing in front of, maybe the camera is trying to focus on me and this. I don't know, right? For sure. But we're going to make some of these little trees. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my fan brush and I'm putting it vertical. And I'm going to start on the end here. And I'm going to tap, tap, tap. So I can get a top, okay? A little top there. And I'm going to tap, 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 tap. All the way down. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to tap, get a top, and then I'm going to tap, tap, tap all the way down. All right, and I'm going to get another one. And as I get another one, I'm going to make it a little shorter. And I'm separating them on purpose. All right, just so I can get them started. And then you can start filling them in. But I just want to get some come in shorter. And shorter, and you decide how far in you want to go, okay? So I might just go into about here. So I'm just going to come in here, and then I'm going to put in some shorter ones as if they're going in the distance, all right? And then we'll get some more paint, because you're probably going to run out of paint. Just keep adding paint, and then you just go in between those. But make sure you get those tops, all right? Lots of tops in between. See, just touch with the top of your fan brush. And then you can just tap, tap, tap. And tap in, fill in between. All right, so you fill in between, but you got to keep those tops. It's very important because that makes it look like trees. See? You want them nice and dark. Even if you have that little bit of black, you got to get them really dark in order for the lights to stand out. You need dark, okay? Some more blue and more yellow. And tap. See, and just tap, tap, tap with your fan brush. If you don't want to use, let's see, maybe I'll go a little further over. If you don't like a fan brush and you want to use just tap, tap, tap with a bristle brush, and then you can take a liner brush, and what you can do is put little tops on after, okay? So if you don't have a fan brush or you don't like it, put some little tops on with your liner brush after, see? But it's not the same, like that texture is not there, but you can always put it on and then add, tap, tap, tap little bits of tops on them. But I find that the fan brush works better. So say you put a top here, then you just tap, tap, tap on some little branches and things. So you can try that. But I really like the fan brush. I find the fan brush is fantastic for trees and water and all kinds of good stuff. Now I never had a tape to put here. I should have. There we go. And then we'll try the other side. So you just do the same thing on the other side. So you get your dark green by adding blue. So you just keep adding to the mixture. Some yellow. It doesn't have to always be exactly the same color, because we're going to be adding highlights and lighter greens. So you can have the other side about the same. You just see all those, see those tops? You can put those tops on first if you like, right? You can even do that, you know. Whatever is easier for you. And then you can start tapping, tap, tap, tap down here and on the side. Tap, tap, tap. See, it's the main thing is your tops, all right? Main thing is your tops. Because we can make those trees come alive after. All right, I just went over a really nice cloud. That's okay. It's a good practice anyway, you know what I mean? Like, see? So, see, you can see the difference. The way I did this one over here, I did tap, 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 and came down separately. And with this one here, I tapped on the tops first and then came down, which made them look almost a little different, didn't it? So, it depends on what way you want to do it. I'm just trying to show you different ways in case you decide, you know, that you'd like to try different ways, or if you found that one too hard, or anything at all, right? You know, because you don't, there's no set rules to how you paint. This is how, if you're comfortable, you know, if you find your own way. All right, I'm going to go a little shorter here, and we're going to have little hills in there. Not much. Just going to have a little hill in there. I don't need much going on in there. So that's that much done. And they're just going to disappear. Just using the corner of my brush to get them as small as I can. So don't forget, now you can always adjust things later, because you can't really see what your paint is going to look like till you get most of it done anyway, right? So, see how different they are? See how that one came down nicely this way, but when I did that way, put the tops on first, it kind of changed the shape altogether, didn't it? See? That's okay. I want to show you whatever different ways you can do it. So you can always adjust some of the tops if you want more tops. More tree tops. Sticking out. Yeah. We had lots of trees in this one. You see, it's going to be different than this one. See how tiny those trees are? And a big hill there. But I decided that I want to do a little bit different. See? Kind of like that, but I'm going to make those trees. I'm going to wait for that to dry a little bit there now. And while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to add some highlights to my clouds. So you always look back and say, okay, what do I need to do next? So all you need to do next now is to highlight your clouds that you made, okay? So just see, you got your shapes, and all you need to do is go right on the very top of that cloud and make a little circle. See now, because it's dry, you can do that. See, now make nice tops by just making little circles on top of what you already have done. And white paint, you add a little bit of yellow to it, or a little bit of orange, or whatever color. There we go. See? It's nice, isn't it? And then you can, same with this one, go on the very top of what you already did. Now you have your shadow underneath. And you just make a little bit of, and go back and get more paint if you need it. But see when you get that white, see how the white stands right out? Once you get that, don't keep going over it, like move away. Move away, move away. Alright? And no matter what, just move away and pick up more paint if you have to, okay? Just make sure you move away so you get to keep that, and same over here. And when you just do only the top here, you can make it big and fluffy as you want, right? And then you can take the bottom a little bit, take a little bit of bottom there, and you can soften it up to go into that shadow one you already made. There we go. And if you want to, you can overlap some of these like this. Overlap some of your clouds so that they look like they're in front of each other, which is kind of nice. That's a really nice overlapping. Really makes a difference in your paintings. You overlap trees or fruit, anything at all. Just overlap. Just make a note, okay, that overlapping is really important in your paintings, you know, depending on, just so you play with your clouds until you're happy. So as you know, our acrylics dry dull, so you may have to put on a couple of coats, keep it going. See the little overlapping, how nice it makes it look? Look, see? Right, and you can take softer ones. I'm going to put a little hill down here, but the smaller ones can go down here, just little circles that are in the distance, or just wipe off your brush and make a few little circles. You get a few little distant clouds in the background, right? So you put too much on, just spread it out. Just spread it out so it looks like just distant clouds or tiny ones, you know, kind of just rub them in there. And so you got nice little clouds in behind your trees. And now I'm going to add something down here. What I'm going to do to make it simple, I'm still waiting for these trees to dry, and then we will lighten them up a little bit and make them come alive. So I'm going to use, I always adore your clouds. It's really, I know, yeah, but it took me many years. I'm not going to lie to you. It took me a while to figure it all out, right? I had to experiment. I had to use different brushes. I had to do all kinds of things. You love it so far? Excellent. Thanks, Jennifer. Hopefully I can do better. You know, hopefully I can keep it going for you, because like I said, it is live. So like when I record videos, if I make a bad mistake, I can fix it. But right now, here I am. So down here, to make this simple for you, I'm going to paint all that black. I know you might say, why are you doing that? Well, it's my background, okay? So I'm going to put it on as a background. Now we got little hills to put in there if we want them. If we want them, you know, you don't have to. You can have distant trees in there. Maybe we'll just put a couple of distant trees in there. But down here, I'm going to put black. And I might leave that little bit there for some, maybe like the water is coming in and falling down for the waterfalls. So you can put this black on first, and then we can work on some more up here, because that way we can see where things are going. Like I said, there's so many different ways that you can paint, and you can start your paint, or you can go to different places. Now I wouldn't go down here right away. I need to work my way down, and if I do it in 3 stages like this, I like to work on the top, do as much as I can, and then probably work on another area with just a little bit. I don't want to go too far with it yet until this up here is almost finished. It makes it so much easier, because, and it also encourages you, if you're doing good, if you like what you see, up here, you're going to want to continue. But if you do a pile of stuff and everything looks messy and you don't know where to go and you're all confused, you're going to give up, right? So you want to do one part of your painting first until you're happy with it. Get that part done first, and then continue on to the next part, okay? So the part, it's trying to figure out where to start is the biggest thing. But I always say start with your background. Put some color on your canvas. If you paint on an all white canvas, it kind of makes you feel intimidated by your canvas, because then it's white. You don't know what to do or where to start. So you can put some color on. You could put all blue on if you want to, or all burnt umber, or burnt sienna, or you know, or any color you want. It could be yellow, green, anything. You could put the whole one color on the whole canvas. Now I don't usually do that, but I will do a background first for my cloud. For, you know, as you see, I'm doing a background right here now to get it ready for the waterfall, right? So, and this here will be useful for shadows, and I not paying too much attention to my sides, but if you are doing it, do your sides, and it'll make it look like a wraparound canvas. You won't need to frame it. Okay. So we got that much done. Now, I'm thinking back here, I might just make some little distant trees or something. What do you think? Distant trees or little hills? What would you like to see there? All right. I'm thinking, a few little trees, I think, because it'll be like trees from here, and they're going back to back in the distance. Maybe that would help. So I'm going to lighten them up a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of white, and I'm just going to tap them down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap across, and then I'm going to lift up, and that will give it like these little tiny trees. See? So it makes them look further away, right? And it should be a nice light green, because if you're doing distance, you need a light blue or a light green or something light that makes it look far away. All right. So tap with your fan brush, tap, 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 going across, and then lift up. That'll give you some little distant trees. See? I don't want to get blurry on you. There we go. Now guys, if you can't see it or anything, let me know, because I might forget to put the camera down far enough for you. So we got that bottom part to work on, so don't let me forget to put it down. So up here, we'll put a little color up here. Probably, I don't know, some green water. I don't know, blue, green. Well, I can't make up mine, so I'm going to add blue and green together. How's that? Blue and green. So blue and green and white. Right? And more blue than green, I think, and some white. Just put something. Hope you can see that. So, just going to put some of that here like this. Just using my fan brush for now. Doesn't matter. I'm going to add a bit of white to that, because it's too dark. I'm going to lighten it up with a bit of white. We'll be lightening up some of this stuff anyway. I'm going to add more white to give kind of a, like just water going on there. See that water going on there? There's water going on there. All right. So you just move your brush around with a bit of white on it, and the paint's all wet, and you get a watery effect. See? Just let the white fall off your brush. If you put white on and you keep blending like that, you're only going to get one color. But if you let the white fall off your brush, you'll get some nice little waves and little things going on there. Your brush will do the work for you, see? So that's going to fall. That's going to come in and fall down. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to add some highlights to these trees. So let's go back with our green and yellow. So now we need a lighter green, right? A lighter green. So that's lighter than that one. It's still a bit wet, so I don't know if it'll absorb it or not. But you remember how we tapped, right? Now we don't have to touch every tree, but wherever that little top is, you can touch. I'm going to make that brighter because I tell you why, you won't be able to see it. Normally I would do three values, okay? 3 values. Dark, medium, and light. And that you layer your paints with the 3 values. And then you can keep layering, and it makes it so much better. So I'm just going to, that's better. So now you can see that, see? So I'm just going to sort of go and find those tops, some of those tops. Then I'm just going to tap on a bit of green. But I want to make sure I'll keep some of my dark. Okay, keep my darks. See, it gives it more of a tree look, see? There we go, see that? Good. Now we'll do the other one. And that was pretty quick, wasn't it? That's pretty quick. You want them nice and fast. So you get your top, there's a top up there. You don't need to go to the top. I'm just using that as a guide to help me figure out where the trees are. And then I'm going to come down, and that will give you an illusion of trees, okay? Because before it was just pure green, a dark green. It was just like no, absolutely no shapes at all, just a blob of green with tops, right? So now you want to make it look like there's trees there. So you tap on some. See how it looks like trees now? Isn't that cool? And a little, you don't need much. I don't want to do too much back here because I want them to look far away, right? So the further away, the less detail, right? So that's good. So now if you want to brighten them up, where's the sun coming in? Is the sun coming in and hitting off everything this way? Or is it coming in on the right and hitting off these trees? Well, let's pretend that the sun is coming in from the right and is hitting off this area. So if it's hitting off on this area, it's going to hit off on the front of those trees, isn't it? So you're going to get more light on this, some of these trees right here, see? And we won't need to do very much. And some of those trees, I'm even going to add a bit of white to my green, get it really bright. And then you're going to get some nice lights going on there. Maybe it's a little bit hitting off some of those tops. Just the top. I'm just trying to think, where's the sun? You have to sort of think to yourself, I wonder where that sun is, you know. But you can see the difference though, can't you? See, doesn't that look like the sun is hitting off those trees? So I don't want to overdo it. So we'll just leave that like that for now. And we'll leave those trees. That'll make them look like they're, you know, that the sun is passing by those. But you can still see the shape of the trees. So that kind of is nice there, isn't it? So now we got some water going on there. That's fine. So next thing I want to do is, what do I want to do? Let me see. I'm going to get a small brush, a small flat brush, and we'll make a little rock wall. See the little rock wall? It's hard to see it there, but we'll make a rock wall there. And we'll just get a dark color. And you can get all kinds of colors, because you know how those rocks are? The rocks are all different colors that you can get. So I'm just going to put black on one side of my flat brush, little flat chiseled edge synthetic brush, and I'm going to put let me see. I'll try with a white first. So black, because I got to see if this is going to work. So I'm going to put my waterfall. I'm going to put a nice big waterfall. So maybe it'll come in and it'll stop around here. And maybe it'll come in and stop around here. Let's see. Okay, so we'll just, for the rocks, we will just touch. So we'll just black side down, touch and pull. And make them staggered, okay? Don't make them in a line. Just stagger them all over the place, right? Get some more paint and some white, right? Black and white. And then you go boom, boom, boom. Touch and pull, touch and pull. Look at that. Now you can even add color to some of those. So you can add a bit of yellow. So I'm going to add a bit of yellow on one side and black on the bottom for now. And then you got some yellow ones. So you can put some in between ones you already did. You come all the way to the bottom, touch and pull. Look, see? Let's get a lighter bottom. Maybe a bit of red and yellow. Yellow. Red side down. You see much red coming off of there. I'm just touching on the chisel edge of my brush. Touch and lean over. Touch and lean over. Touch and lean over. Alright, so let's do some red ones. I'm going to put some red on one side of my brush and some burnt sienna on the other. So just use all kinds of different colors to see what you can get. Because like I said, you've seen rocks before that are all different colors, right? There we go. And do in between ones you already did so that they'll, you know, even though you're leaving some black, yeah, you're leaving some underpainting there because, so I just added a bit of white to my dirty brush, and I'm adding more. Aren't they cute though? Look how nice colors. How cute are they? You can make them big or small. You can have big ones and small ones, right? Let's get more white, and I'm going to put burnt sienna on the bottom. And I'm left-handed, so kind of, I don't know if that's throwing you off or not. All right. Make it over on this side, that way I'll be able to make them better. So get any colors you want. See, touch and pull, or just touch if you want, even if you just want to touch. But I find if I pull a little bit, then I can make them a little bigger, give them a little bit of a better shape. I'm using yellow and red and blue. There we go. Maybe some white to brighten them up so you can see them. I want to make sure you can see them too. And I'm going in between what we already did. Go. Make little ones in between what we already did, little tiny ones, or the bigger ones, right? Get some more white and some yellow, bit of red. So red, the dark colors on one side and the lighter colors on top on the other side. I made a straight line there, I didn't mean to do that. I'll stagger it out here a little bit so it'll make it look like it's not a straight line. There we go. Good. They cute? They almost look like bubbles. You could probably make bubbles too. You know, some of the techniques that you use in certain parts of your paintings, you could use them for other things, right? You could actually make bubbles, couldn't you? Just by touching, adding color on your brush. So there. Now, aren't they cute? They are so cute. Make sure you can see them. There we go. Oops. It's okay. Make some bigger ones on the bottom there. I'm going in between ones I already did. Pushing a little harder to get the bigger ones. That's kind of nice. Good. So I meant to make that a little bigger, but I got carried away. Yeah, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my big fan brush again. Clean it off, unless you got several fan brushes, then you can, you know, use different brushes. So let's put a little waterfall in here first. All right, and waterfall is going to be the blue and maybe a little bit of green, maybe just to match. I don't know, not too much. And long as it's dark. So what you're going to do is you're going to put in your blue first, okay? So you got your fan brush is full. I mean, like really full, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the chiseled edge of the fan brush, and I'm going to touch on top of those rocks, and I'm going to pull over, I'm going to pull down, okay? I don't know if you can see that or not, but touch on top of what you already did, over and down, okay? And then we'll do another one. This time we'll go on this side, touch over, and I'm going to go over some of those rocks because I want it wider than that, and over and down. See? Touch over and down, touch over and down. So we got to go over it a couple times, that's fine. And then we got some water going on here so we can go back, but we'll go back over that again in a minute. I'm going to lay a little bit there just to Put that as an underpainting for some more. You can make adjustments as you're going along. All right, that's good. Now, so we got that bottom one. Now, that's pretty wet. But I'd rather for it to be wet right now, so I can take my white. I'm going to get more white. So bear with me, or have a bear with me, whatever's your pleasure. And I'm going to get my white. Now this white here, this is I like this one, Dollar and Round. It's big. You can get them at Walmart, I think, for 12 bucks. Lasts forever. It's let's see how big it is. 750 mils. So it's really a lot of paint for the money. And if you do a lot of painting, sometimes I was doing an awful lot of painting there for a while, and I use house paint. White, because white's what you go through the most, right? You don't need, now unless you're doing a mural on walls and stuff, you use house paint. But anyway, I'm just going to go through here. Now, pure white, because this is wet, and that's going to mix in with your white. So you're going to touch on top of that wet paint, over and down. See how pretty that is? And so it's going to pick up that blue paint, which is nice, and over and down, and touch, over and down, and touch, over and down. Do some more in the middle here, probably. I don't want to. It's kind of nice. Might put a little rock or something there. Now when that dries, I may add more highlights to it, okay? Because at the end of the painting, when we do our small details, you can add more highlights to your anything that you need, all right? Highlights and shadows, and do your main small details. Because it's wet there now, I can't get that white on top of there for some reason. I'll come back to that after. I'm not worried about it right now. So when that dries a little bit, then I will add some more highlights to it. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting, I'm going to add a little splash at the bottom there. So I'm just take the corner of my brush, it's still dirty. I'm just going to tap some of that like it's splashing. Just the corner of your brush is easier to control. And you can get it to come over here like this, over here like this. Marvelous. Now, down here, we're also going to use a really dark color. Blue. Dark blue. You can have any color you want, but I want to go dark, almost with a bit of black. Black and blue. Pour down here. Okay, nice and dark down here too. Alright. Now, over here, I'm going to have some grass and some rocks. So I'm going to do the whole bottom, that bluish, blackish color, okay? So as you can see, this bottom of part of the canvas was really dark, right? So that part of the canvas is really dark. And make sure you see that. All right, this looks amazing. Oh, excellent. Great. That's good to hear. I'm really glad you like it. So I'm not going to use any magic mist because I don't want it to be too wet, okay? So I'd rather use a little more paint right now. So you have to make those decisions, you know. So I'm adding more blue than black. I want nice and dark. All right. I'm just scraping it on. There's no way, you know, you have to worry about this right now. because we're going to lay things on top of it. See how when I do the base, when I do the underpaintings, then you lay things on top. Alright? That way you don't have to worry about being perfectly going on perfect. But you do have to worry about it going on nice, really nice and almost perfect when you're doing like the waterfalls, the trees, right? Sky, nicely blended sky. This down here is just an underpainting for your rocks and your water, and all good things go on top of this. Alright? You could do a canvas like, I like painting on a black canvas too, is nice. You paint your whole canvas black, and it's really nice. And then you bring all the lights out really nice. But sometimes it'll be hard to get your paint nice and bright because you're going over darks. But there's a way around that. And the way around that is to leave sections that you're going to have bright colors. Like I could have left that center there brighter, but I didn't want to because I wanted shadows there. But if you want a part like the sky up there, your background is sky would have a white background. You know, the canvas is white. I didn't paint that black. If I had to, that sky would be a duller blue than what it is here now. So as you can see, I'm just filling in the space down here, and I'm taking some of my ultramarine blue, and I'm using lots of paint, as you can see, and I'm just going to add some more blue on top of what I just did. Just getting it all mixed up there. Not to worry. Good. Now, let's see. Let's see. I'm going to put some grass over here. We'll do that now in a minute. Just going to get a shape there. You can almost make the shape. You can almost see it. But you may not be able to see it because I don't know what the picture is like, how you're seeing it. I hope you're seeing it okay. Just going to do a little bit on the sides. I'll do the sides after because I don't want to wait. You know, I don't want you to get bored. I don't want you to get too bored. I want to move as fast as I can so you won't get too bored. So, just trying to make some decisions here, guys. I got this up here to fix. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit. I'm going to clean my fan brush off a bit. Get some of that dark off of there. And I'm going to add some white paint. See if I can get a little more water going on up here. So I'm going to fit it in with what we're doing. And here. Spread it out. So as you can see, most of the things that I do is scrub, 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 tap, tap, tap. This kind of paints I like. That's why I like acrylics. I don't like watercolors because I can't do the tap, tap, tap and scrub, scrub, scrub. Now, does the underpaint color depend on what you're going to put on there? Yes, because like I was saying earlier, if you're going to do a nice bright sky, if you're doing some light colors, make sure your underpainting is a lighter color to keep them bright, right? But if you're doing darks and you need dark shadows like between these rocks, then a dark underpainting is better. But so it depends on what you're putting. Yes, so if you want to have it really bright, make sure your background color is light. And if you want to have lots of shadows going on, then have lots of darks underpainting. So, but you don't always have to have an underpainting, right? You don't always have to have an underpainting. Like I didn't really have an underpainting for my sky, I just left it white. You know, when I left the canvas white, I didn't put any color on. if I had to put an orange color or something on there, or some of the orange would have came through in the sky, and that kind of makes it look nice too. And is looking awesome. Oh, that's fantastic! Thank you. So I'm going to dip into my white again, right, like that, and I'm going to come over, touch, over. Just want to add a little bit more on the top there. And I may add more again after. Depends, like I don't want to mess it up because it is live, and if I fool up then I can't fix it. So I'm just going to be very gentle with what I'm doing, okay? Because like you say, when you're painting and you can take your time and just, you know, refix things, readjust things, then you can just, you know, do it and be comfortable, be careful. I'm going to let that dry a little bit, but I'm going to put, let's see, while I'm waiting for that to dry, probably up here I'm going to add a little bit of grass. So I think I'm going to use I think I'm going to try this brush here, my Bristle brush, and I'm going to add some green. I'm going to add some color up there. I want all green. I think I'm going to add some color. I don't have a lot of color in the other paintings, so I'm going to add some green first, a dark green, so I'll have something to play with. That's sort of like an underpainting. So what that'll do for me now is help me to decide where I want to put some bushes or whatever I decide to put here, right? So I'm just going to tap on a few things here and here and just see if I want to put a little bit of color here. A few little bushes here. And maybe some over here. It's just sort of getting some kind of shape of what I'm trying to decide what to do. Like I said, I got that other painting there, but I haven't really gone by that. I haven't really followed that one very good. So I'm just going to do my own thing. That's a good lesson too. Like when you're doing reference photos, just do your own thing. Just use the reference photo to get you started, but don't worry about, you know, being exactly the same. So I'm just going to add a little bit of bushes down here and a little bit here. Just waiting for that to dry a little bit so I can add more. So I'm going to add a few colors on top of what I just did there, which is, my brush is dirty, so I'm just going to add a bit of yellow, bright yellow. Get some bright yellows here. And just to get some color in there, that's all. And maybe some reds, little red bushes or something back here. Just tap on some color, that's all. Just a little bit of color. A little bit of yellows in there too. I'm just basically throwing on color. I'm not actually making any kind of particular types of trees or anything. Just some little colors of bushes and things that are going on here, just to add, like I said, add color to it, and then smooth out that water a little bit there. Good. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to add, that could be a bit of reflection in the water, see? Got a little bit of reflections going on there. There we go. little bit of color for now. And then I'm going to use my bristle brush. And because this is still all wet, like I don't want to use a hairdryer because it's too loud, so I'm just going to do my best to hopefully let it dry while I'm working in different areas. So I'm going to add some green. I'm going to add some grass up here just to fill it in. And I'm going to bring it down over some of these rocks. Just tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap, tap. They have foliage, right, going on over the rocks. Just hanging down over the rocks there. Now I'm going to be using fan brush to highlight that even more. I'm just getting a tap, 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 tap. It's a grassy area here. Tap, tap. I love tap, tap, tapping. Because you get so much texture when you're able to do that. I'm just going to let that fall down over the rocks, even though you spent hours and hours doing those rocks. Didn't take us very long, did it? We can put some of this grassy. I'm just going to tap it in here and there, okay? Just so that it looks like just some here and there. In between the rocks. See? And then you can see it's all pretty wet there, so I've got to wait for that to dry. So I got some more over here. I got a darker one over here so I can use highlights and things. So I just got a bit of grass, see? It's just a foliage growing in between the rocks and falling down from up here. That'll add some interest. Just tap, 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 tap. And you can add some little extras just by tapping here and there. As long as you don't cover everything up, right? You don't want to lose everything that you did. You just want to be able to see it, but not to the point where you lost all the work that you already did. All right. So I'm going to take my fan brush. So you go back and forth with different brushes, you know, and get the brushes you're happy with. But I find a fan brush really, I use it for a lot of things. So I'm just going to take some of my yellow and a bit of white, because now I'm going into the brightest. So I'm just going to take that and tap it on. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Pretty wet, so it's not giving me the lights I like, the latest colors I like to have. Alright, so just get some white going on here to make sure you can see it. See that? See how nice that fan brush gives you those nice textured, right? Not the same. When I did the bristle, see, you couldn't, you know, you don't get the same. See that? That's because of those bristles on top, see? Right? But look, isn't that cool? Now the shadows are over here, so I don't want that too bright. Remember we said the light was on this side, so we want to keep this side here a little bit darker. So I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to make some of these. There we go. A little bit here and there, a little tap here, a little tap there, here, tap there, tap everywhere, tap, tap. So that doesn't look too bad like that. I think that's okay. You got a little bit of color in the background there. I didn't do too much back there. No. A few little, because it's a bit bright over there because the light wasn't supposed to be over there, right? The light is over here. The sun is over here, so it's a little bit of light there. And when that dries, that will dull right there, see? So what can we do next? Let me see. I don't want to keep you all night. We've been here since 7:45, 8, 9. Oh yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I don't want to keep you too long. But I hope you're learning, you know, a few things. Tap, 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 tap. That's right. Oh my, I love the tap, 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 tap. Somebody must have seen my videos, and they had a website, and they called it tap, tap, tap. That's okay. Alright, so I got most of it. I'm not going to play around with that too much more. I think that's fine. There's lots you can do with it, you know, over time and stuff, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to work on a bit down here now. This is pretty wet here, so I'm going to see if I can let that dry a little bit while I'm fiddling around with some of that water. So what I'll do is I'll add white to my brush, because this is pretty wet here, okay? So when I put water there, when I put my highlights there, it's going to mix in with the blue. So I'm just going to kind of let the brush do the work. Let the brush do the work. Now I'm just playing around here for a minute. So as you can see, I'm not going to leave it like that, right? But if you wiggle your brush with some white on it, it'll give you some nice little movement in the water. All right. See, already it looks pretty, doesn't it? So I'm not going to touch it. It's fine. See, took me what, 10 seconds? 10 seconds to paint that. It's done, right? I'm not going to bother with it anymore. And this is what a lot of people has a problem with. They're like, keep fiddling, keep fiddling, keep fiddling. And next thing you know, all they got is a big black blob again. And then they keep putting paint on. It won't dry, and it gets really frustrating. So that took me about 10 seconds to do, and I'm going to leave it. Because it looks good. It looks nice, right? I didn't catch that one. Something came up there and I missed you. So, yeah, so 30 seconds. No, it didn't even take me 30 seconds, but 10 seconds. So, and it's taken, and in 1 hour, I've been here. I started this about 7:45, wasn't it? And now it's just going for 9 o'clock. And so, like, thank you, Sandra and Louise. I'm overthinker. That's right. We all are. We all are an overthinker, right? But after doing so many paintings, you kind of get used to where it's going to go if you overthink. But I do it. I still do it many, many times. I do it. So it's normal. It's a natural reaction. And hello, hello. So don't worry about it. But the things that you're doing is the same as everybody else. All right. I'm going to add a little bit of grassy area right here, a little bit over here. So right into my dark green again. Tap, tap, tap. See, I mean, these bristle brushes, they do the work for you. So you don't have to do anything. You just tap. See how you're getting it looks like grass? You're welcome, Sandra. And I'm glad you like it, Lisa. I think I saw Lisa. And you can see all I'm doing is tap, tap, tapping, right? Tap, 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 and using a couple of brushes. I'm not using a big pile of brushes, right? Look, and you can see the texture in the paint, right? Now you can get mediums that has texture, but I don't use a lot of mediums. But see how nice that is? Look, I don't know if you can see it or not, but when I highlight that, now you'll be able to see it. But you can see the texture already, right? I'll add a little bit of yellow to see what you can see. Look, see that? Look. Just by tap. And I'm not pushing real hard, because if I push real hard, I'll get blobs. So you don't need to push real hard, okay? And you just come out to the water where you want to go. We'll put a few rocks on the ends of those to clean it up, okay? So, because you got to think about final details. So we'll get into some final details now in a little while. So I'm just going to finish that there, and I'll highlight that now in a minute so you can see it. So I'll just put a little bit of a piece of land here, a bit of grassy area. Come out into the water a little bit. All right. Yep, so all you do is tap, 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 and you've got a painting. Tap, 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 and highlights. Just remember where the light is coming from. As you can see, one side of the painting is lighter, right? So you decide where the light is, and so the light is all on this side over here. The sun came in here, but it's darker over here, so we're not going to do a big lot of highlighting over here. That I kind of made too light. That's too bright there. I might have toned that down. So that's not hard to do. And good. I think that's, put a few little bushes on the bottom here. Go right up into your wall, as if there's some trees or something going on out there. Put a bit of light in there so you can see what I'm doing. And then we got that. And to make that even nicer again, we will use our fan brush again. Because I love the way the fan brush gives that nice, see how you get that nice textured look. So you can take your fan brush then and start tapping on top what you just did. And then you can clean it up then. So you come out more into the water. You don't have to, if you got some nice texture, you don't have to go back over that. You can just tap around it. Right, come down back into the water. See, you come down into the water. You go in here like this. Go down into the water. Tap, tap, tap. I might put a little bit of red in for a change. Add a little color to it. There we go. Down here. Try and stay horizontal. All that texture. All that texture. Now I don't want it too light over here, but I am going to add some texture to it. There's so many things you can do. You know, you can add flowers and all kinds of stuff, right? But you can see it makes it look more like grass. Good. Good, good, good. Now I'm going to add a few flowers to get some color because there's a lot of green. So this is more of on a cool side painting. But you can add some warmth by adding some nice flowers. I'm going to add a few little rocks. I'm not going to add as many that's in the other painting, but I'm going to add a few rocks with my flat brush. Alright, just get a flat chiseled edge brush. I want a small one. I don't want it too big because I'll end up making huge rocks. What did I do with my brush? I have to grab something here now. I can't find it. It's disappearing on me. I'll just use... there we go. I got two sizes now. Two. I dropped one. So, I'll use the bigger one for a bigger rock. Let me see. So, remember we did those things up there with dark on one side and light on the other? But you can do the same thing down here. And you can use the dark color. It can be black or dark blue or red and blue and some burnt sienna. Anything as long as it's dark color. And then white, maybe a bit of yellow on the other side. And then we'll make a couple of rocks. Probably like this. Touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull. That one there is a bit too bright. There we go. Oops. I'll add a few more in the end here. I'll highlight them now in a minute. And I got a few more over here. Just getting my dark paint. I'm on a chiseled edge and I'm just touching and pulling out. So I get a few rocks there. And I'm going to use a white and some red burnt sienna to lay on top for a highlight. I'll come back to those because see where the paint is wet, it won't show up. And I'm going to use my small brush for those small rocks. Okay, so dark on one side and light on the other. And we'll just put some little rocks in here. white and dark, any color on the other side as long as it's not white. And then we just put some little rocks all along the edges here. You could even put one in here if you want to. And touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull, and then you go over here and put some little rocks on the edges here. Just to sort of clean up the edge, you know. Give it some. Are they cute? And they're so easy to make too, you know. They're so easy to make. Make sure you can see it. I'm going to add a few more over here. I didn't like the ones I put there. So you can always fix them. See, you can always fix things, you know. Not to worry too much. Some little rocks in here, maybe a little bit of color. Some white on there so they show up. Touch and pull. Or even just touch and get some little tiny rocks, right? Just little tiny ones by just touching. Right, just touch. Some of them might look funny, but you can always go back over them after. I'm kind of rushing it now because I don't want to keep you too long. But you can have a bit of rocks in your grass if you want some in your grass, or just add a little bit of interest. A few little ones up here by the white really brings them out, see? But you can need a flat brush to make them, you know, to make them the way they are. There they are. I don't think I'm going to do much more with that. I'll leave that. What else did I say I had to do? You can also add a little bit of a falls. Could be falling in here. Could be coming over and falling in here. Could be going over here somewhere. Maybe it's running down through here. Down here somewhere. A little more white. Touch over and down, it's all. Touch over and down, touch over and down. And then maybe just tap a little. Maybe it fell down here and it kind of made little waves or a little splash. Just use the corner of your brush and tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. And later than that, you just add a bit of extra on top there. Just fill up your brush and just bump and down. Touch over and down. So that's where the light is. So we want to add, I don't think there's much more. Oh yeah, I was going to add a few flowers. That's right. Okay, I'll do that in a second for you now. What was I going to do that time? Just add a bit of a highlight on that rock over there. Oh yeah, I was going to, I don't think I need much here, but the light is over here. So I want to make sure that's nice and bright. I'm going to add a bit of yellow and white. Just to get a little bit of highlight here, just to say that the sun is really giving her over here. Going out into the rocks a little bit, up around here. That's all right. A little bit up here. Trying to figure out where, you know, make sure the sun is shining on certain parts of it. That'll give some interest to your painting, see? So let's add a few flowers now, and then I'll let you go. So what I'm going to do is just something very simple. Something very simple. Let's see, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to use, I'm going to use this brush here. I call it my magic brush because I love it. It's pretty messy. I got lots of them there. I just happened to grab this one. But see the tops? See how they're all different? Right? Like that. So these are called chip brushes. So you can get these anywhere in my Amazon shop or Walmart or in the paint shop, whatever. And these bristles open up individually, and you put that in some paint, and then you get all these colors on top, and they'll make the really pretty flowers for you. Like say you want to add some flowers. I'm just going to tap. See? You just touch, 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 touch. You can say touch or tap. Touch, touch. That's all. Whatever colors you want. And pretty flowers come out. See? And they come out individually. It's so nice. I also like blue colors. Blue color flowers. Tap into white and blue. Look at that. They're pretty. I don't know if you can see how good you can see that, but it's really pretty. Right, a little bit of flowers over here. I'm going to turn my brush. I don't want them too big over here. Just a couple. Get some red ones. Red ones are nice. Right? Cool. Just a little bit of color, a little splash of color. And when you put in colors, make sure you spread them out throughout the painting a little bit, so that'll give you some harmony in your painting. So, right, they could be tall red ones. I'm going to add a bit of white to my brush. I'm going to clean off my brush a little bit, and I'm going to tap it in tissue or on your hand so they spread right open. And thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. And so I'm just going to add a few little, I call it my booster shot. And I put white on my brush, and I sort of add little specks of white in different places just to give it that little oomph, that little bit on the end. Just could be anywhere. Just gives a kind of a boost. I call it a booster shot to your painting, right? Kind of brightens it up a little bit more. So there's lots more you can do, but I'm just going to leave that. I think that was plenty. I hope you learned something from this. I hope you learned a lot. Now that's the painting. Isn't it nice? It came out nice though. I didn't finish up here. I meant to do some more water there, but I'll leave it for now. And you can put like some of your branches. And you have a good night too, Sandra. And thank you guys for coming by. And I hope you learned a few things tonight, right? So you can see it looks like a lot of detail, doesn't it, when we just did some tapping, you know? Tap, tap, taps. And color. Splash, splash, splash. All right, so I think I will say good night, and you guys have a great night. And I'll be seeing you again in another video. So bye for now from Allison Prior. Thanks for coming in, guys. I really appreciate it. See ya.